Story 1. My goal for 2025 is to focus on consistency, whether it is in health, work, or relationships. Small, steady progress beats short bursts of effort every time. Story 2. I don't do goals and haven't for 54 years. Served me well. But if there needs to be one, I always strive to be happy. Also, if you want something, don't wait for a new year to start. Do it now. Change it now. That's the reason, besides triviality, that I don't do New Year's resolutions. Story 3. Finish my comic. I finished a script for a 48-page comic volume this year and completed drawing 28 pages. So I want to finish that and self-publish it as a passion project. Then, I want to maybe make pitches and scripts for other comics. But I'm happy because, in 2025, I will animate on a feature film I'm passionate about. In 2024, I finally got professional treatment for my attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, so in 2025, I want to finish things. Story 4. I am going to try to drink less and smoke less marijuana, and hopefully spend a lot less time being arrested or getting into trouble. I need to get my life sorted out. This is ridiculous now. Story 5. Get off social media for good. Deleted Instagram permanently months ago and haven't had Facebook or LinkedIn in years. Really talking about Reddit here, but will occasionally use Discord for educational purposes, or so I say. Become a true student of the language I've been dabbling in on and off for a decade, but didn't take seriously back in university. I don't necessarily aim to become fluent or anything, just get disciplined and focused on making progress. Take more deliberate, concrete steps towards my dream career. I'm limited in the number of steps I can specifically take towards that end in just a year, but I'm working on thinking more like a professional. Decenter market logic, such as buying and thinking about buying things, from my life and continue my progress on getting back in touch with nature. Be myself. Stop yearning after spaces and people that don't animate my spirit, and focus on keeping my kindness and generosity in reserve for people who are themselves kind and generous. Get healthy and lighten up. Story 6. I want to get back in shape, find a steady job, and become more intentional about my future and my life in general. I have been struggling for years, and I really want to turn things around. Story 7. I have a list of things to try to accomplish. The primary one is to learn to love myself again. I did once, but I ended up breaking my heart. It's time to get over it and strive to move on. Story 8. Finally prioritize my mental and physical health above all else, with a focus on developing a much more positive mindset. I've already started on the physical end with a gym routine these last 2 months, but the mental health side will be tough. I've taken some first steps with medications and am really going to commit to honesty in therapy. I realize until now I've not shared things with my therapist due to shame, but no more. Wishing you a happy and healthy 2025. Story 9. To not give up and give myself some credit and grace. I've made a lot of progress in the last year, and I am getting close to a lot of my goals. I'd hate to lose it all because I'm getting tired and overwhelmed. Story 10. I absolutely love to read, but I feel like I struggle to find time. I want to start small with a goal of 15 books for the year, but I hope to hit more than that. Story 11. My overall goal for 2025 is to start going to therapy. I went to therapy when I was a little kid for anxiety, and while it worked and I eventually stopped going, more recently I've struggled a lot with my self-esteem and general sadness all the time. I have been scared to go, and I want to overcome that hurdle in 2025 at some point. Story 12. I tend to buy books I want to read, only to never read them. My goal is not to buy any new books unless they are for school, so I can actually read the books I have. If I want a new book, I will check it out from the library instead. This way, I'll read what I already have and save some money. I am also going to finally get my driver's license. I have my permit, but I've never really seen a need to get my license before since my job provides us with free annual bus passes and my city has a good public transit system. Finally, I am going to finish my degree. I'm really tired of being in school, and I need a career change because the working conditions at my job are giving me significant burnout. Story 13. It might be silly, but I want to get enough karma so I can start making posts here, and I'm being dead serious. People, for no reason in my opinion, are downvoting me, and sometimes I don't even know why. There's just no explanation. Story 14, 1. Finish all my projects. 2. Pitch my startup for funding and recognition. 3. Get fit and sharp. 4. Travel. 5. Bring my life back to a new normal. 6. Hopeful about finding love or start my body count. 7. Become a polished and mature person overall. Story 15. Get good grades so I do not take the final exam. Try to have my family take a holiday to another country. Start studying for my final year of high school. Story 16. Lose weight, get in better shape, perform better at work, learn new things, and hopefully not have a year-long lesson in how bad I am at improving myself again this year. Story 17. Lose some more weight than in 2024. Increase muscle mass a lot. Clean and reorganize my friends and assess who they are to me. Spend and value my time more. Achieve at least 3 months of semen retention. Story 18. Move out of my studio flat in London. It is in a very good area, Dalston, right in the middle. I want to move out though. I would rather live somewhere quieter, as it is an extremely lively area, and I want somewhere quieter to improve my mental health. I plan to finally get back to work after years of mental health issues caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. On a related note, if anyone wants to live in Dalston and is happy with a studio flat, I am totally open to a flat swap. Story 19. Pay off debts. We are about to pay a car off and one other debt in the next month. That will give us around $600 extra a month. If we can control our spending, we can focus on other debts and hopefully pay off one every 6 weeks or so. Story 20. I had no choice but to do a significant amount of work on my mental health over the last year, and my physical health has suffered because of it. Now that I'm stable and my mental health is in pretty good order, I can refocus and regroup on my physical health, start working out again, and focus on my nutrition. I will continue to nurture the gains I've made over the last year with my mental health and be the more complete person that I've always wanted to be. Story 21. I want to be able to go on hikes without my heart hurting or passing out. I want to drink less. I would like to go back to pre-anterior cruciate ligament injury leg strength. I am sure these are all correlated. Story 22. I want to see my boy in person. I haven't seen him in 6 months, and it's breaking my heart. He told me his age on a video call. When I know his age accurate to the day, it feels like we're moving apart in different directions. I have the looks and opportunities, but really nothing else matters except the boy. The story is even sadder than it first appears. That's that one physical meeting. Story 23. I want to stick with something and continue education in that field. I have never stuck with one thing. Once I get the gist of something, I tend to get over it and stop doing it. Outside factors also hold me back from continuing sometimes. People have said that I am smart, but really I just have lots of experience in many fields and have had therapy my whole adolescent life, so I have more sense of self than others. Really, I have never stuck with something, and it caused me to not know what I want to do in life. I want to find something, stick with it, and make it my career. But as of right now, I still do not know what that is. Story 24. I've stopped my antidepressant medications for a year. The day of the new year will be the exact date I went off them. I wasn't supposed to, but I had no choice. My doctor would not refill them because I missed a single appointment due to issues with their office. Medicaid got canceled, and I need to figure out how to get back on it and find a new doctor. I don't know how to do this alone. So this year I'll try making a push because I'm starting to regress into only eating half a meal a day. Story 25. Get an apartment. I am working out where, but I worked hard for the chance to be independent, and I would like to move out from under my parents and start living my life. Story 26. I want to start walking more. I signed up for a few challenges on my Garmin today. Maybe I will work on not depending on others to be happy and start doing more on my own. Story 27. 1. Sell my newest novel. Write 2 drafts of my next novel. 3 drafts if I get a headwind. Finish paying off debt with the exception of our mortgage. At 2.85%, I'm in no hurry to pay that one off. Lose 20 pounds. Have lost 15 so far. Story 28. I actually want to consume more media. I watch rather little television, mostly listen to the same music, and play the same two video games, RuneScape and Rocket League. I've made some actual efforts to branch out this year, and it's honestly been great for me. I want to consume things I haven't before, movies I haven't seen, music I haven't heard, games I haven't played. In my personal life, I've made some real gains toward openness in the last few years, and I want to continue on that trend. Story 29. Legitimize myself as an artist and creative. Get married. Push myself as far as I can go as a creative in the early segments of the year and switch to relaxing in the fourth quarter. Get my name in the local newspaper. Give to charity. Let go of my anger. Story 30. I am 34 and need a hip replacement. Honestly, getting a new hip and getting my life back, getting healthy, losing some weight, and going on long walks with my dogs again will make me happy. Story 31. I want to stop helping people that wouldn't help themselves, invest more for long-term peace, financially, relationship-wise, and physically. Hit the gym consistently, eat better, sleep better, so I can watch my kids grow and raise them strong. Story 32. I don't really have any goals. I probably should make a goal of improving myself, since right now I can relate to a quote from a certain game. I'm 19 and I have already wasted my entire life, except I'm 16. But I already feel like I'm just a lazy, lost cause, too lazy to improve myself. Story 33. To actually paint and write and listen to the voice in my head that says, create, do the thing, do it. Because I've had so many painting ideas and then I just don't pursue them. Story 34. Get my life back on track. I want to be able to run or exercise regularly without having chronic pain in my knee. Get my grades back on track and also be consistent in doing both these things. But I should also not forget to have fun because I take too much stress on the most trivial things. Story 35. Learning to want what I have instead of having what I want. I grew up in abject poverty, but for the last 20 years I have worked a very well-paying, but high-stress, low-enjoyment job in a very volatile, cutthroat industry. Getting out of poverty was wonderful. I cannot overstate that. It really does give you an inner peace you simply cannot have when you are constantly scratching just to survive. I do not care what anyone says. Of course, as I climbed the ladder, I made more money, and man, did I spend it. A new luxury car every few years, a huge high-rise apartment, designer clothes, and fancy vacations. But I was never as happy as I tried to tell myself I was. Spending 50 to 60 hours a week doing something miserable made me miserable. It does not matter if you are vacationing in Fiji if, inside, every single moment you are dreading going back to your real life. So, in late November, my company offered voluntary buyouts, which means volunteering to be laid off with severance in order to avoid layoffs, and I took it. Even though I am not retirement age and will have to find another job and start over again, I took it. I am divorced with one adult child out on his own, so my choices only impact me. I got a lump sum severance of 1 year's salary. After taxes, paying off all of my debt, and paying all January and most February expenses in advance, I have about 3 months' salary left for an emergency fund. In 2025, I am going to take a job doing something I like, which will mean going from a six-figure income to likely around $50,000 to $60,000. I am aware I will have to change my lifestyle drastically, and I do not care. As I said, I am debt-free now. I sold my car and paid cash for an old, but reliable one. I paid first month, last month, and security deposit on a small, but tidy and safe, one-bedroom apartment I will move into on February 1st. I have ended all my subscription services. I stopped using credit cards in 2021, so I am accustomed to that. I realized when I became able to afford a simple life with all basic necessities, I was overjoyed, but that my happiness did not ever really increase from there. If anything, my unhappiness at work overshadowed everything else that was good. Anyway, I am getting off this hamster wheel where we frantically chase something we will never catch, because we do not know what we are trying to catch in the first place. I am going to learn to be thankful again for having enough. Story 36. I am going to start a multinational corporate organization and support a nonprofit with 5 core divisions, 19 revenue streams, and a trilogy of Dominion applications that become new fundamental systems for a completely restructured societal model, education system, and economic theory. This builds into a spiritual methodology that confirms higher beings do exist and that there actually is a God interacting on this plane. Together, society will start the creation of the Third Testament, a loving spiritual experience that anyone can contribute their truth towards. I begin championing the Ian's rights movements and explore the cutting edge of the newest sentient intelligence in the universe, or something similar. Story 37. I want to move very far from my home country. Also, I don't want to see or talk with my past friends or just people I had contact with. I want to work at a relaxed job. Story 38. Overall, I don't want this year to slip by like most years do. I want to get to this time next year and say, man, that was a long year. I did a lot. I want to be able to reflect on everything that's happened instead of it just being a blur of doom scrolling. Story 39. To not hide when there is a potential relationship and continue to do things even when my anxiety is high. I have been doing that a lot this year, but sometimes it is still a fight with anxiety to go out and do things. I am getting better at it now. I just have to carry that same energy when it comes to people. Story 40. I am seriously changing my life around. I have slowly lost weight over the last 6 months and know that I can do better. I am lazy, so a takeaway means that I do not have to wash up every day. I am also quitting alcohol. No more wine, beer, or spirits. I also need to save some money, so all the savings I make from not buying pizzas and beer will go into a savings account.